theme song so you can see if you can hear it.
Are you going live on Twitter or are you going live on YouTube?
Twitter.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me rewind this. Do you see it?
I do. We are live.
We're live.
Okay. Don't get your hopes up, man. Like this is like a newer thing, right? For Twitter. I don't really see.
Whoops.
I,
I'm
I
wondering
don't.
if this does it record? Because if it doesn't record, then I'm absolutely fucked.
No, it'll be recorded on Twitter. You'll have it like it's being streamed on Twitter at this point in time. I just retweeted it, and you can like review it on Twitter if you really want, or you can rip it off Twitter. Either or.
All right, fuck it. We're gonna start.
Let's fucking go, bro.
Let's go, dude. We're riding. All right.
We're riding. Hype happy hour, talking about life, so you might feel empowered. Hype happy hour, tornado on the mic with a guest giving power. Hype happy hour, tools, interviews, provide life tapping power. Hype happy hour, positive and light with advice, build your tower. Happiness is key, so you gotta bring the smiles out. Inspiration needs a bit of passion to just wild out. Positivity and optimism when we ride out. Enthusiasm and dreams, gotta feed them till your time's out.
Let's go. Hyped Happy Hour, episode 14. I am Gentle Tornado. I am your host, and I am on a mission to spread positivity and make this shit loud in our world. I created a company called Hyped. Hyped is an acronym that stands for happiness, inspiration, positivity, enthusiasm, and dreams. You see below, my logo is an H with a heartbeat because we never know how many heartbeats we have. And so we're out here living every single day to our best ability. And we cannot stop. We will not stop. We are grateful every day. Listen, I am joined on episode 14 with one of the funniest people in the NFT space, one of the most humble dudes I've ever just listened to in a Twitter Spaces, Alexander Shillin Villain. My man, how are you?
No, dude, I'm so excited to be here, bro. It's like I can't believe we're doing a fucking podcast at 10:30 at night, bro. This is wild. I've never done it this late, so I'm gonna have to like try to like draw in some new energy. I'm sorry if like I become monotone, but dude, I'm super hyped to be here. Thanks for letting me get on.
Let's go, dude. I'm pumped, man. I think you're going to find the energy. I don't think you need much of that. I think you naturally have it, like myself, but we're going for it. Listen, I like to start it off with what are we grateful for? So what are you grateful for today, Alex?
Dude, like that's such a good question. I'm grateful that I'm actually able to see this screen. I'm thankful that I can type on this keyboard at the moment. Just like looking around my surrounding. Happy I can fucking breathe, bro. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. So those are just three things right now that I'm thinking of. Like that sight, typing, and breathing, bro.
I love it, dude. I love it. And you got to be grateful for your dog, right?
I don't know, man. He shits in the house a lot. Like that's one thing. I don't know if I'm
Really?
super, dude. He has to. If he's not out the door at 7 p.m. Eastern, he's shitting in the house, bro. He's literally shitting all over the place. Yeah.
It's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, dude. He's like, either you take me out or I shit in the house. Like that's like where he's at.
The best Twitter spaces are when you're walking the fucking dog and you are literally like, it sounds like you're walking up the biggest mountain in the entire universe, bro, and you're just fucking still managing the Twitter space. It's absolutely wild.
Dude, I live in like a very mountainy area, so these hills are steep as fuck. And yeah, maybe I'm not in the best shape of my life, but I'm gonna get there, man. And everyone loves to make fun. Oh, he's breathing heavy. Yeah, because I'm working, baby.
Oh, I love it. We're out here getting it. You're grinding. You just started your podcast, right? Out of Pocket is a podcast and a live Twitter Spaces you do with Thread Guy.
Yeah, so that's like kind of like a podcast we do with at 1 p.m. Eastern. We've been doing for about 1 hour. I don't know. It's kind of like working. Like we're still testing the waters. It's been about a week and a half. So I'm surprised you even fucking knew the name of it and who it was with. So that's surprising.
I gotta love it, dude. It's good content, man. You guys talk about honestly, the reason I like it is you guys talk about shit that not normally is talked about, and that's why I gravitated to you through Easy, and because you're not scared to talk about the hard stuff, and I fucking love that because we need to make noise around that. So tell me how you came up with Out of Pocket. Is it a joke or?
No, the name or the actual podcast, because the name, it was actually funny enough. We were like, let's do a quote tweet and see, like, we'll just review at what everyone's saying. And someone said, call it Out of Pocket. I'm like, oh, dude, that's a fucking banger. So that's what we called it. But the idea of the podcast actually came from Thread Guy. He's like, yo, what if we get the #1 influencer on ETH and the #1 Solana influencer, and we come up and do to it? I'm like, dude, first. Anyways, I don't want to throw him under the bus, I'll just say that's how it came about.
Yeah, you guys had a pretty fire episode today. You guys were going after it. I loved it. A little bit of passion, you know what I mean? Thread Guy was getting after it, and then you guys came together, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's working, he's working, he's not, he monologues a little bit too much. He'll go on like a 5-minute tangent, drives me nuts. I try to talk for 5 seconds. He interrupts me, bro. Like, I'm trying to get him there.
You teed him up. You threw him softballs, as Alex Shillin would say. So listen, the goal of this podcast is to bridge the gap between personal life and all these words within Hyped and Web3, something that I love. And so I'm on a mission to do that, to also bring these words to life, to help anybody in any way, to bring any value. We like to go into an origin story of who you are. So you tell me where you came from, your childhood up to now, or how you got here. 2 to 3 minute origin story, superhero. Who's Shillin Villain?
Okay. I will not tell you anything about my childhood because it'll dox me. People will realize that I'm like, no, I'm just kidding, dude.
Are you a childhood actor or something?
No, dude, I'm super boring. Like, it would be very boring. But let's just skip all that bullshit. Let's say, like, why don't we say what got me an NFT? So my buddy that I just play like basketball with on the side is like, yo, check out this shit. I sold some bozo this for 10. Like, that's bullshit, bro. And he's like, yeah, okay, well, just try it one time. And dude, sure enough, like, BitBoy, I don't know, BitBoy, what the fuck's his name? BitBoy Crypt, I don't know his name. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So he actually made like a kind of like a collection on ETH. Are you familiar with it? Oh, dude, it's it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The name of it doesn't matter because it's at 0. But it wasn't at 0 at one point. I minted that shit for 0.1 ETH, and I sold the fucking thing for 3 ETH. So like that's what ETH is like. You're talking like
it was ripping.
Yeah, bro. Like, and so I'm like, oh my god, I just turned was it $40? Oh wait, what's the point? $400 into 12 grand, and over a night. I'm like, holy fuck. And instantly hooked, bro. So that's kind of like got me into NFTs. So shout out BitBoy Crypto for doing one decent thing in your life.
So that was your first, was that your first NFT you bought?
Yeah, I bought, dude, funny enough, I got a couple of rares because he front stacked it. Like, I guess they didn't know how to set up a contract. It was like heavy on the front end of, dude, it's a long story, but like they fucked up the rarity. I ended up minting a whole bunch of rare ones. So like, I sold like the most rarest one for like 3 ETH. And I also sold like half ETH and then another half ETH. So I minted, I don't know how many I minted, but I sold them all for like really good profit. Got super addicted to NFTs at that point in time.
You know, it's pretty funny about been doing this podcast, man, is I would say that 90% of the guests hit so big on their first NFT. And it's just wild to hear those stories, like, you know, that you bought this for 0.1 and it was 3 ETH. Like, that's such a common thing, actually. And I guess I'm hanging out with the wrong people because when I got in, I got absolutely fucked.
Yeah, I don't know what keeps you in here. If you get fucked right out of the gates, bro, like, I'm out of here. I literally tested the waters. I'm like, holy shit, you can sell these JPEGs for a lot of extra money. I mean, you don't really need to know what they are about. You just need to make money.
I mean, I guess I didn't lose. My first trade was I minted a VFriend, so that was not an L. So I never planned to sell it, so I don't really count that as a flip or anything. But when I got in, I got rugged pretty hard. But it's all about learning, dude, and I fucking love the fact that so many people won. Like, to hear that you turned $400 into 12,000 is just makes me fucking happy, to be honest.
Yeah, and don't worry, I turned that 12,000 into 0, so everything comes full circle, right?
All right, so you started with ETH, obviously. So how did you get into Sol?
Yeah. Funny enough, there was like a free Solana mint. I don't know if you're familiar with, like, it was called Snex. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it was a free Solana. I'm like, dude, I have nothing to lose. And I was like thinking to myself, is this like, you know how like credit cards get you in and they're like, hey, you can, free mints weren't a thing at the time. Like even ETH were like super, you had to pay for fucking anything at the point in time. Like there was no such thing as free mint. Now everything's fucking free. But at one point, they weren't free. So that's what got me in was a free mint on Solana. And then I still traded on ETH, dude, but I'm more of like a minter. And then I just sell. Hopefully I can like sell for profit after I mint. Yeah. So that's what got me in was a free mint.
How many long-term holds do you have?
Dude, that's I mean, like purposefully holding or like just unfortunately holding. So I have a lot of
shit that you like, because I know that Easy's got like one. So
one.
I don't know. He's got very limited.
Dude, Easy's goat. Easy will sell his grandma if he has to. Dude, okay. Like projects I like. Fuck. I don't want to. I have one D God. There you go. I'm holding one D God, so I guess I can say that one.
Do you like D gods though?
Yeah, dude. Like I don't know enough about D gods. I just like Frank personally, so that's like the only reason I'd say I like D gods. I don't know the D gods team. I only know Frank. I haven't spoken to any of the other ones. Like there's like I know he talks about them, but like Delilah and all the other artists, I just don't know them all. It's just too much effort.
So let me ask you this: aside from those things, like, do you have conviction in any play? Like, do you have high conviction in a play? Because I know, you know, you have a D God, but do you have conviction in maybe something else that's not like crazy big time?
No, not really. I told Frank to his face, I'm like, dude, I OTC'd one of your D gods for 500 SOL, and I saved. At the time, it was like worth 50 grand, and then he got mad because like I saved 5 grand via OTC. So instead of it was, dude, it's literally like, why would I not do that, right? And it was pretty funny. I sold all my D gods and then I bought back in one whenever the whole Utes shit started to pop up. I'm like, fuck, dude, okay, I'll get one. And I bet 20 grand on that bitch, so I'm down bad.
So is your biggest flip that D God for 500 SOL?
Yeah, it's when I minted. So you think like at 3 SOL, I don't know how much I think it was like probably like $100 when they minted. So like $300 of 50 grand.
Wow, that's dope, dude. That's fucking sweet. Well, I love it. I love your origin story. You're obviously a childhood actor or someone super famous. That's why you don't want to be doxxed, but I get it. It's okay. I'm gonna let this one slide. What we do on the show is we move into each word within hyped. So the first word is happiness, and I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm gonna read to you my favorite definition of success, and I feel like you're gonna really like this one. So it reads: to laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate the beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. It's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So what do you think when you hear that?
Dude, I think that you're over delivering at this moment. This is way better podcast than I was expecting, to be fair. No, dude, that was an awesome quote. I think, yeah, man, like success is measured in so many different ways. But yeah, dude, that was a great way.
Well, I think that you like sometimes, like, I feel like you're so humble and you really love people in general just by the way that you run your Twitter spaces. And, you know, something that I love being a part of when I'm just listening to them is that you leave the ego at the door. No one's too good for someone else. And, you know, I love that you, in a jokingly way, had said to people, like, you don't have to say that you're leaving. You just leave. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, dude, you have no idea like how much, because dude, we have like 15 people wanting to speak, and we want to get through all of them. Like today, dude, it was just like nonstop, like, and people will monologue and like hog the mic. I'm like, dude, come on, like let's get these. And then if I gotta hear people like, hey, thanks for like calling me up, I really respect you. Like that's like 5-10 seconds that is just completely wasted. Everyone's time is wasted. Like time is very finite. So anyways, yeah, dude, getting back to like leaving, oh, come on, fuck on, bro. Like it's 5 to 10 second outro. No one needed to hear. It didn't add anything into the space. Everyone's still here participating. Like let people participate. That's all. Like it's just like these little nuances of Twitter spaces, bro. It's only because there's just like so many people, and a lot of these Twitter spaces I've noticed are like very echo chambery, and they'll mute someone if they have a difference of opinions, or they'll remove them from speaker, or it'll just be a set amount of speakers who can come up and speak. And dude, it happened today on Spaces. One of my co-hosts, aka Solana Snooze Bag Sleeper, he muted someone that, dude, someone took like a minor shot at that dude, and he was like, "Oh, we gotta mute him." I'm like, no, bro, like he took a shot at me, he took a shot at like he's like all three of you actually. And like I'm like, dude, we need to hear that shit. Like, and if people like don't want to hear like the other side of the coin, dude, you have to hear the other side of the coin. Dude, what I want to do is get someone on Spaces who's like anti NFT and like just like have a conversation with like, oh, like see their side of things, because I think it's important to like, we're in such an echo. Yeah, NFTs make sense in our echo chamber, but like outside of it, bro, it was like real eye opening for me because I don't really get outside my echo chamber much. But going to New York when it wasn't NFT NYC and like asking MFers about NFTs, I was getting laughed at like everywhere, left, right, and center. This shit was actually pretty entertaining.
I love that, dude. No, I love that you brought that up, that, you know, there's these spaces that are almost curated where there's only these speakers are allowed up. And, you know, it's just kind of sad that like people don't want to hear just other people. There's so much knowledge in this space. It's fucking crazy. And just learning every day is fucking awesome. So my first question under happiness is, what makes you happy every day?
Oh, fuck, dude, these are hard questions.
We're gonna get deep, dude. Listen, I'm gonna get deep with you because nobody gets deep with you,
dude,
and I know that you're good. I know you're a good fucking dude. So that's how this goes.
Happiness every single day, bro. That's such a hard one. I think happiness is dude, that's like a hard thing to obtain, and I think it's more so like, can I balance myself every single day? I think that's what it comes down to. Like, can I? And I'm not good at balancing. So like happiness probably could be better if that's a thing. I don't know like how you even measure happiness. If anything, I'd measure it in satisfaction and satisfaction of life. And I think that's like something that always comes and goes. And like you'll like, for instance, like I'll work a job, I'll be like super happy with it, aka satisfied with it for like the first couple months, and then eventually like that satisfaction dwindles smaller until like I'm no longer satisfied, I'm no longer happy. And I think that's like, that also like pertains to like everything. Like I make a bunch of money, super happy, super satisfied, and then slowly. So it becomes a point where you have to like remove those things. And that's where like I'm saying like the balance part of things come into play. If that makes, I don't know if I'm saying makes sense.
No, you are for sure. I mean, this is kind of funny because the V friend that I minted was a balanced beetle, because in my entire life I've searched for balance, because you know, I can relate to that. I've always had to work on that. And, you know, I'm 100% or nothing. I feel like you're a fucking pretty hard worker yourself. And I think like, you know, I have a wife, I have 3 kids. I'm doing this podcast multiple days a week. I'm doing content as much as I can. And I've had to balance that. And I've had to learn how to do that. You know, I can't just like do it. I have to talk to my wife. We have to have a plan. She has to be on board. She has to support that. And I had to learn that. It took fucking, so I don't even know how many years. I'm still learning every day how to balance that. So I admire you for saying that. And balance is something that's very, very hard to find. But once you find it, is pretty wild. The other side for sure.
Yeah, man. I think it gives taken for granted, like not like understanding that it's okay to not make a cajillion dollars, but it's not okay to also make $0, and finding that balance and being acceptance of that balance. And that is like, for me, what's what brings happiness. Like it's very hard to accept like I'm not making a cajillion dollars every day. It's also hard to accept that I don't make zero. Like if I make $0, so like finding that balance and accepting that balance is more of what would drive my happiness.
I like it. That's interesting. For sure. First answer of its kind. So I like it. Listen, you're not going to like this question probably. What's the happiest moment of your life?
Oh man, these are tough ones, man. The happiest moment, I think
You gotta have, come on,
dude,
you gotta have something on this.
like a specific moment.
Can I tell you Easies? Because I'm sure
No.
you haven't watched. You can't.
No,
can I tell you?
Okay. I guess
Yeah, I gotta
Easy's
tell you.
important. If
That's
you
your
gotta
boy.
tell me. That's
Okay.
who said
He's
Easy's
not-
my boy?
He's not your friend, but
Yeah, dude. There's
you
no
do Twitter.
friends here.
It's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? His was when he went to Universal Studios Harry Potter Land with his boys for the first time.
Yeah, that
He said
sounds
it
like
was
that
incredible.
sounds like an easy answer. Dude, that's such a like specific moment that made me super happy. The absolute highlight of my life, dude. Twitter Spaces, then just Twitter Spaces. I don't know if it's multiple moments. You're doing the Twitter Spaces right now. I think are bringing the most happiness moments for me at the moment. I think that dude, that shit's fun. I don't know, it's just fun.
Do you like it? Do you like not being a host as well?
Yes, yes, I do. Actually, I like listening to like the smaller space. Like if I can like sneak into a smaller, like I have like a couple alts, listening to the smaller space, like listening to speakers, and then like eventually, like what I'll do is like this is a secret, this is the alpha. How do you? I will find them like, yo, you need to come up and speak on these spaces, and then you'll have like good informed opinion. Well, you think they're informed, but just at least it seemed informed opinions. Like, hey, like there's like I like bringing up speakers. Like, doesn't matter like the following. Actually, the higher the following, the less I actually want to hear from them because like then they have motives. I think after a certain point in time, they become motive driven rather than like personal opinion driven. So like if I can find someone with like less than 1,000 followers, like that's the people I want to hear from. There's the few exceptions to the rule. So yeah.
Well, I think that you hit it on the head right there. Like that going into smaller spaces, you just find a lot of passion and a lot of inspiration, and you're right, like motives, like motivation. What they're talking about is you can learn a lot of shit. I was in a spaces earlier today with like 30 people. It was incredible, dude. I learned so much shit, and it was badass. So I love that. So normally my last question in our happiness would be top communities you're a part of, but you don't really have that. I would say your Twitter Spaces community maybe. But let me ask you this, because I know that you got a job, I think in Web3, you were talking about on one of your spaces, and you were saying that you enjoyed it. Is that true?
I mean, depends what you call enjoyment, but yeah, dude, I enjoy it. I think, dude, it allowed me to leave my Web2 job, which at one point in time, like it goes back to that satisfaction thing. Like I was so super satisfied with my Web2 job, and then I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. Like I was just like nonchalantly like shit posting while I was working my Web2 job, and the Web3 job was like, hey, Alex, do you want to shit post, do the exact same thing you're doing, but just quit or not. They didn't say I needed to quit, but I was just thinking in my head, oh, I can just quit this and continue to do more Twitter stuff. So I'm like becoming more and more sucked into this Twitter stuff.
What was your Web2 job?
I was a network administrator. So it's like, just like if something would break on a network, I'd go out and fix it kind of. I don't know if you're
Like
familiar.
web-based or what? What do you mean?
Like, are you like firewall and switches and
Okay.
like, are you,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what I did. And so
How
I
long
could
did
just
you do that?
immediately, like, so like the official role, like a year, but like I did a whole bunch of like other IT stuff is just like, I could immediately go back to like going to being like a remote network admin and just like
Okay.
configuring like network devices, very simple. So it wouldn't be hard transition going back to Web 2 if Web 3 for some reason doesn't work out for me.
That's cool. So that gives you an edge on like a lot of the technical stuff. It seems like a little bit around the computer for sure. What do you? This is kind of an interesting question I just thought about. Was like, I think it doesn't make you happy. I don't think is the right word, but you like to expose rugs and call people on their bullshit. So where does your passion come for that?
Well, it just happens to be that that's like the most things that happen in the space. I don't enjoy doing being like fighting shit like as much as people like to believe that. It just happens to be that like for every 10 projects there are, 9 of them are going to get flooded to zero and one of them will be like, yeah, dude, that's going to be an okay project. So I think it's just like the laws of probability are just, it's probable that it's not deserving of our funding. And the faster we can like figure these probabilities out, the faster we'll get to the point where like only the legitimate Web3 businesses will be added to the blockchain. But for now, it's still like at the point where it's becoming less and less rug driven Web3 businesses. So that's, I think we're actually like, although it's slowing down, it's slowing down in a good manner.
That's fucking awesome. No, I love that. I think you're right. The faster we can get rid of that shit, the faster the real projects can rise to the top and the real builders can build and be successful. So let's move on to inspiration. So, I like to talk about the fact that we only have one life, and that's an inspiration every single day. We get to get up. You referred to time being limited, and that's something I've focused on my entire life. It's the only thing we can't get back in this world. So I love that you doubled down on that in your spaces, I'm sure in your life. And I just want to throw you some flowers and say you inspire me. You inspire me with your humor, but with your humility. And you're just fucking driving, bro. You're just out here grinding. I love to see it. And yeah, we're fucking out here. Listen, what is one lesson that you've had to learn the hard way in your life?
Is this NFT related, or what is this related to?
Let's do
Like
both.
anything?
Let's do real life and let's do fucking NFT life.
Okay. I probably realized that I'm not. Okay. Fuck, dude. I'm not a great supervisor. I learned that the hard way by like being forced into a supervisor role, and then I realized that I can't handle those types of situations of like supervising humans because my like ideas and shit, and like I'm thinking like, dude, just be like a normal human, but like thinking to myself like, okay, maybe I'm not a normal human, Alex. Like maybe this person's fucking normal. Like I had these high expectations of these people that I supervise. I'm like, look, you need to do this, and they would miss like something. And dude, it got so bad. Like I was like, look, you are fucking up. Like I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And then they started crying. I was like, holy fuck. Like,
Oh
am I
shit.
fucking up? Yeah, dude. It was so bad. So then like I get reported by anyways, learned the hard way
So
probably
you had to
that
go to the HR. Did you? What happened?
yeah.
What happened after that?
Like they were like, hey, you cannot like talk to people this way. So I'm like, I was like, they were fucking up. It's like, yeah, that's fine, but you need to tell them and like I was just, I don't know. I
This is
learned
a
that the
little bit
hard way.
like more gentle, I guess, is what
Yeah.
they. Yeah.
So then like I toned it back, and it was just like, it was like, maybe if anyways,
That was probably hard for you. You're pretty much a loose cannon. You let it fly.
yeah. And it
Have
didn't
you always
end
been?
well.
Have you always been that way?
Nah, yeah, I've always been like a shit talker. Like I've never like
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like the same thing. Like I'll just talk shit to people in their face. I know people like that's just I don't know. I think you know what it is. It's probably because I gamed when I was younger. It's like this you got to deal with shit talkers online. So I just like transferred it to IRL as well. Like fuck it. Like what's the worst gonna be happen? I'm gonna get beat up. Okay. Like life goes on. As long as no one kills me over shit talking, which hasn't happened yet. Obviously, I'm still here.
What games did you play when you were younger?
Oh, dude, Halo 2 was like,
Let's go. Dude. I knew I fucking liked you. You
yeah,
fucker.
I think that was like the number one. Well, not. I think it was like the really first mainstream FPS game. Like, really was. And you know what's really cool about the proximity chat on that? I don't know, like if you remember that, but you could talk shit to the other team if you were
Yeah.
nearby them.
It was
So
the best.
I would literally camp in corners and talk so much shit, like you can't fucking find me, loser. So, dude, that's I don't know. I think that's really what happened. Like why I talk so much shit is because of first person shooting. Man, that shit's fucking like I can't play it anymore because like it'll make me a super toxic. Like I'm already like toxic, so like it amplifies my toxicity playing those games. So I have to like avoid them at all costs. Like I play Call of Duty every once in a while. I'm like, holy shit, I gotta stop.
It's fucking awesome. Did you play Warzone the other day with Easy or whatever? You guys were streaming or something?
Yeah, I can only play it in micro doses. I used to play it a shit ton. I
Yeah.
gotta like scale it back, or else it'll consume me, and it's not like a good parasite to consume me with.
We're fucking riding. I love it. So what about
Dude,
NFTs? Dude, what?
you're talking about like learning lessons in
Yeah.
NFTs?
Yeah.
Dude, the biggest learning lessons in NFTs is not making friends, dude. Don't make any friends. I think that's very beneficial. I'm not kidding, man. Like friends like friends will like want you to shout them out while you're on talking. Like I'm getting DM.
Those aren't friends. Don't
Oh,
fucking
they're not
don't.
friends.
No, those aren't
Yo.
friends.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna shout them out. Then.
I didn't ask you to retweet this shit.
I know, no. They want me to shout them out on this. Oh, they're typing back. Let's fucking go. They're like, Alex, shout me out. I'm not shouting anyone out. See, there are no friends in Web3. But yeah, I think, dude. Okay,
Give me
I
a
don't
real
know.
answer. Give me a real answer.
No, that is it, dude. Like I don't know if you like had.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dude, I made friends and they will like literally behead you. It feels so bad, dude. It feels the worst thing is like when you're like quote unquote friends and then like 3 months down the road, oh, by the way, can you do this? And it's like, you know, that like goes against everything I say or like I just what I do. And you're putting me in like a weird situation. And I thought we were supposed to. And if you say no, then they're no longer quote unquote your friends. So I think, dude, making zero friends is literally the best thing you can do, and understanding like it's just like connections you make. Okay, do you want a different answer? I'll give you a different answer. You
I
sound like
just think you're full of shit.
no,
Those aren't
no.
real friends.
Okay,
There's good people out here. I'm a good
okay.
dude. I made
Yeah.
Easy some sweet shit, dude, for free. I gave it to him because that's my homie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
There's
I don't
good
know.
people. Don't
Oh
be
yeah.
fucking toxic.
Okay. I think it's just like a personal me. Like I'm still like need to get through it. But anyway, something else in NFTs like a learning lesson. I mean, I think everyone would probably agree with like the other learning lessons. I'd say like your investment learning lessons, like learning. I think yeah.
What's your biggest loss? What's your biggest loss you've taken in this space?
Like
In USD.
unrealized or realized. Like $80,000 was the Phoenix stanchion. So that was like unrealized gains, right? So I don't know if that's like that was like a fast as fuck loss of $80,000. I was like, oh my god, like I was making like the passive income got me so bad. I'm like, oh my god, I'm making $1,000 a day. Like I'm like, oh my god, let me hold these things. That ended up terrible. Definitely should have. Oh fuck, dude, that was definitely my worst play. But I also bought some metaverse shit at like couldn't buy it any higher than I think I was like literally the absolute top signal when everyone was chasing like portals, like the visions. There was a whole bunch of derivatives. I forget what the fuck it was called. I spent a fortune on the fucking and when that's whenever Solana was expensive, dude. Oh fuck, I can't remember the name of it. It was my worst play for sure because I bought like the rarest metaverse little card thingies. Oh no. Yeah, so it went really bad.
What's your biggest realized loss?
I think I just hold my bags if I'm not, I don't like to sell. I don't know if I like to sell for a loss. Let me think.
You had
I'm trying.
tax harvest at some point.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think like when I sold for a loss, dude. Like USDC wise, right?
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
I mean, fuck, Sol was at like what in January? What was Sol at 240 or something? Because I remember my dad, dude. My dad was like loved Solana, and so funny he lost his fucking ass on it, but not funny. But yeah, it was high. It was really fucking 240 plus, right? What was the
yeah,
peak? What was the peak of Solana?
260.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
What's
It's
it
on the
now? What's it today?
like 40 something.
Oh shit.
So I don't know if I've really sold for like a big loss that I can even remember, like Solana, one Solana mindset. I mean, those metaverse cards were it though. Like, I think I paid like 100 Sol plus for some like multiples, and you're thinking like that's when Sol was 200, and they're at zero now. So you're thinking like 20 grand. I don't know I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to look at it. It was definitely my biggest loss.
Before I ask you this next question, because normally what I would ask is, what do you love about Web3 that inspires you to do it every day? I'm going to ask you before I ask that because I don't know, what do you love in your life?
And Web3.
No, in your life.
Oh, dude, just like with
Do you
the
have a
thing
do you have a girlfriend or something?
the thing we were talking about earlier, just being grateful like for like little things, and then like the big things or I'm sorry, yeah, then the other things will do. It's like a domino effect. If you can like be thankful for like the most fucking basic ass shit, all the other shit it doesn't even matter. If you can just be like thankful for like, oh my god, like I'm super thankful that like I'm sitting in my chair right now, like thankful I can afford this chair, like thankful like the most basic shit that always gets overlooked, dude. And then all the other shit just comes. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just like that stuff, man. I don't know if
That's what I'm talking about. That's the fucking answer I wanted, you motherfucker. It only took 30 minutes to get it. Listen, okay, now tell me what you love about Web3.
The things I don't know if like love is the right word about Web3, but the thing
Enjoy.
enjoyer, yeah, dude. I I've been like I don't know. It's like always changing, but like as of like August 15th, like what do I like about Web3? The network effect that it provides. I think that's like the main benefit of Web3. And going further, like the Twitter aspect side of things, I talked about it today, but I'll talk about it again. I think Twitter is the like number one place for information and to be distributed. Yeah, dude, it's super fast. And now we're like having like these podcasts where you can have like decentralized live spaces. I think like the same way like video killed the radio star, dude. I think Twitter Spaces is going to kill the news station. I think, dude, I think that's really like, you're going to have like decentralized spaces, like people like breaking fucking news. Like we're already seeing like NFTs, but it can branch further out. And yeah, so.
Well, no, that was true. Like, dude, when that Ukraine shit happened, I was in one of those spaces, just listening to what the fuck was going on. Like, I would rather be in there than watch the news.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what could happen. Don't know if it will happen, but I could see that happening. And yeah, dude, that's what I like about Web3 is the network effect that it provides. I don't know if that answered the question.
No, I like it. So just wonder inspiration. Do you have anybody in your life that's been an inspirational leader, somebody that you've looked up to?
In my life, anyone, I guess family, right? You got everyone looks up to their mom or dad, so it's undeniable.
Is your dad like someone you've always looked up to, or?
Yeah, I think so, right? I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my parents. So I don't know. I think it's a fair answer. I think that's a fair answer.
I'm not sure if you believe it. You're like almost asking a question after you say the statement.
Well, like look up to.
It could be anybody. It could be anybody.
I think that's like an easy answer. Like just your parents. Like I think.
I know,
like,
but some people aren't
don't
close
get
to their
along.
parents.
Yeah, and I get that's like my whole thing. Like some people like hate their fucking parents. Like, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with that answer. Sorry, man.
Who fucking knows? Anyways,
that's a good answer.
It was good. Listen,
wait, can I turn these questions back at you? Like, I want to hear.
You can.
Yeah. Yeah. Who? Give me one person you look up to.
Inspirational leader.
Inspirational.
My dad.
Wait. You can't say your parents after I just said it.
But I was sure about it. I wasn't guess my parents, right? Like that's the answer you're looking for is my parents. Is that what you're wanting here? I didn't say it like that. I said my dad. And I'd say Gary V is an inspirational leader that I look up to. That I listen to his shit and he fucking inspires me to be better. I didn't ask you. I'd say like, Gary V. Okay. Gary V. Alex, do you think Gary V?
Well, I didn't know.
Is that a good answer?
I didn't know if parents was going to be an acceptable answer for that question. I didn't know if that's what you're like looking for, because
there's no acceptable answer here, brother. We're fucking riding.
Okay.
You give me whatever, right? It could have been your brother. It could have been fucking easy. You know what I mean? It could have been, I don't know, anyone who inspires you.
Yeah. Okay. Parents. There you go.
All right. Cool. Glad we ironed that one out. What's your favorite inspirational movie?
Dude, I'm not like a big movie or TV junkie, but 7 Pounds got to be it. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie with Will Smith. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was like such a great movie. I'm into like drama movies too, by the way.
I love it.
But I haven't watched any in so fucking long. Man, they take so much time to watch. I'm like, fuck, dude, these are taking so long.
Same, bro. I'm the same. I
don't watch. Gonna spin it back to you, man. What's yours?
My favorite inspirational movie is Remember the Titans. For sure.
Remember the Titans. That's a good one.
Yeah, I fucking try to come up with a new one every episode, but I just that's my number one. Or like, there's been a lot of good answers. So like Wolf of Wall Street, fucking solid answer. Pursuit of Happiness, people said.
Yes, dude, that was my other one, dude.
Yeah, really good one. What's another one? Hook. Hook was twice. Hook was twice, dude. Yeah, I was really real surprised about that. But it is. I mean, like Peter Pan gets back, dude. He goes back to Neverland, dude.
Wait, is this like a new Hook or is this like a?
It's like the one with Robin Williams, dude, and fucking.
Who in the boomer is giving you that answer, bro? Tell them.
Yeah, right. Not that old. They're not that old.
What in the fuck is going on?
But I like your answer. It was a first. What would if you said one goal in Web3? What would that be? Just one, just straight off the cuff.
Oh, dude, this is the thing. Like, is this like, are these questions about me or like for like other people? Like my goal in Web3? Because my goals are going to be different than everyone else's.
I mean, you're my fucking guess.
Okay. One goal, dude. This is like super cringy saying like what my goals are.
Why do you're fucking pretty open, dude, it seems like.
Yeah, but like personal thoughts.
There's like fucking 30 people that are going to watch this.
Okay. Yeah, the goal would be like currently, like I don't think I have like, because when you set a goal, you set like an ending, so there isn't really like an ending. But short-term goal, I'll say, is to flip. There's a guy named Mario Nafal. He hosts a Twitter space, completely manufactured space, gets 2,000 listeners. When he hosts his space, I'm gonna flip his shit, bro. I'm gonna fucking put it on his head, and the whole space is gonna be talking shit about that space. Oh, dude, no shot at Mario, dude. He's killing it, but it's so fucking inorganic, and it's just like, oh my god, bro, it pisses me off. He got me like week 1 on that shit. I was like, oh, dude, he called me Elon Musk of Solana. I'm like, what the fuck? I was super. Yeah, dude. So I gotta flip him, bro.
He has. What does he do? He's in NFTs.
Yeah, dude.
I don't even know who that
I don't
is,
want
dude.
to.
It's wild.
So yeah, he like DM me like, "Yo, Alex, you'll talk about Solana NFTs in front of 2,000 people." Complete lie, but I like shilled it really hard. And I'm like, "Yo, check out this page." And so he ended up getting like 2,000 listeners, and I didn't really talk about Solana NFTs. It was more of like project shilling, and then he gets paid for those projects to shill on his space. So it's smart what he's doing. I am going to flip his space one day. That's the short-term goal. When he starts it, I'm like, all right, we're starting this shit. It needs to be something super fucking hype, and I don't know what it'll be, but that's like 2,000 listeners, a lot of fucking listeners, and then
It's a lot of people, dude.
that's a lot of motherfuckers.
What is he random? Is he scheduled? What is he?
Dude, he just came out of fucking nowhere with his shit.
2,000 listeners? That's wild.
It's way he went
That's
about
crazy.
it, dude. It's super inorganic, manufactured, and if you like I don't know how much you're into these Twitter spaces and shit. Like you look at his analytics, it's all fucking weird. It's like, what the fuck?
So it's probably fake.
It could be botted. It could be botted to fuck, which would probably be the case. But projects don't know that.
That sucks, dude. That's so terrible. I'd rather have fucking 5 people in my space and we're having a banger conversation than fucking 2,000 bullshit bots.
Yeah, dude. But the project, whenever you get a chance to be in front of 2,000 people, that's like a big deal. Like if you have an idea and you want to tell people your idea, I think that is like something I would pay for.
How much would you pay for that?
He charges 10 grand, so I wouldn't pay 10 grand. I wouldn't pay
10 grand to get in front of 2,000 people.
Yeah,
you could go to fucking Times Square and get in front of 2,000 people for fucking free.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But these NFTs that just want to sell out will pay the 10 grand and then hopefully sell out. But that was a quote from like 3-4 weeks ago. Maybe that's changed since. That's just what I've been told by someone who I told to go on there. I'm like, this is like your type of space because all you're concerned about is selling out. So this is like a piece of shit space for your piece of shit project. That's like, and they're like, I didn't go on. I'm like, why didn't you go on it? And they're like, he's charging 10 grand. I'm like, holy shit. Are we doing these Twitter spaces wrong? Like, are people actually paying 10 grand? So I'm sure his rates has changed, or maybe he changes them based off the project. The project I showed, I was like, wasn't bad. It wasn't like necessarily a bad project. It was just not a project I thought I wasn't going to get them on my space. I was like, no, dude, go check out this space. This is like, they're like semi legitimate. I'm not going to even tell you the project name, but that was it.
That's fine. Let me ask you this. So obviously you have a lot of spaces where you talk to founders. I don't know if you guys call it anything specific. I think you and Easy do it, or maybe just you, but let me ask you this. Like, would you take money if a project was like, hey, let me come on your space for this to get body bagged, to get better? Because I don't necessarily, like, personally, I wouldn't see anything wrong with that because there's so much value that you're providing. I mean, I don't know. Have you thought about that?
No. So I have thought about monetizing the podcast, just like introing with like a short ad being like, hey, this podcast is sponsored by X, Y, and Z. I think that would be the ideal goal, to have the podcast or have the spaces sponsored by someone that would pay us. And then it'd be like, hey, this space is sponsored by, and then at the same time have 0 walls. Like I can't do that's more important than the money, is like having just free reign and saying whatever the fuck we want to say, except for the sponsor, right? If like FTX was like, hey, this space is sponsored by FTX, and then I can't say like 2 seconds later, oh, by the way, fuck FTX, they're scamming you or something like that. So obviously like that would be the only wall. The sponsor is the only thing I cannot like beat to the living shit. But it would also, I don't think like personally I would accept like a shitty sponsor. I don't think I would. Maybe I would capitulate to some shitty sponsor. We'll see how things go, man. I don't know where these podcasts or spaces are going. Maybe they're going nowhere. So It's hard to say.
Honestly, I don't think one, I don't think you would, but two, just from an outsider's opinion, I'll give you that. Two, you could have anything, dude. You could have like a fucking deodorant. Like, who fucking cares? Like, most podcasts are sponsored by like fucking energy drinks and then like a fucking service online or something like that. You know what I mean? So if you can find stuff that is good products, right? Like, excuse me, you have the power to find out like, oh, is this product a piece of shit or is it, oh, it's pretty good? Okay, cool. Like, I'll have them pay me to sponsor the podcast or just your spaces. Like, they can literally sponsor your Twitter spaces.
That would be the ideal goal. Then I could really continue doing what I'm doing. Although like the Web3 job that I'm doing right now allows me to do it, but then also like make even more money doing what I'm doing. So I don't know. Like
Well,
I
it
said,
seems like just I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it seems like that's what you want to do, dude, is the Twitter spaces. It's what like it seems like that's where your passion's at. Not to fucking put shade on your job. Like, your job's great, it seems, but that's where it seems your passion is.
well, my job is kind of like the Twitter Spaces. It'll all. I think they're gonna probably sponsor the Spaces in some way. You might hear it more. I don't know. It's very slow, so everything's slow. As much as we like to think the space is fast, dude, everything is fucking slow. So yeah, man, I do enjoy the Twitter Spaces. I like the podcast with Thread Guy because then we get like the ETH perspective on things, and then I really like just like we're turning it into a community space. I think it's like fuck it. Call it like a community. I don't know what it's going to be called. Right now, it's being called Probably Nothing. So we got Out of Pocket at 1 p.m. and then Probably Nothing at 7 p.m. So pretty interesting. I think. I think the community. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're both interesting.
Yeah, I think the community factor is really good to bring community members involved.
Yeah, and we're like becoming really good at moderating the spaces where we can just be like, all right, within like 3 seconds, just like instantly cut them off. I think there's a couple of spaces that do this. They'll bring up random MFers, and then I don't know if this can I curse on here, by the way? I've been like cursing nonstop.
Yeah, we already have. I've probably cursed just as much as you. So
Really? You know, I don't think I've heard you curse once.
Yeah, I had to get a little feisty with you
You got feisty with me? When?
when you're being fake.
Oh, dude, I didn't even just hear it, bro. You're being very, very nice in this. Normally, I'm like, we were getting dunked on by someone today on Space, which I'm perfectly fine with. Like, some people get uncomfortable. Like I said, Swan Sweeper literally muted the dude mid sentence. I'm like, dude, relax. Like, we dunk on people all day long. We can get dunked on like one. And I'm like, you're never being co-host again. Like, people that abuse the mute button, they're never being co-host.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the main host can mute. I don't know if I don't know if I would mute as a co-host. Mute everyone?
I like do it sometimes to spice the conversation up, but I'm getting better at it. Like, now I just speak louder. I'm like, if I really get pissed off and I'm gonna mute, I just speak louder. I like okay, I won't mute anyone from now on. I'll just speak louder. Like, that's what we were doing the other day. I'm like, all right, King Fudd, we're both hosts. Neither of us can mute each other. Let's have a conversation. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's a lot of it's kind of a performance, right? You're putting on a performance for the crowd. It's almost like live TV in a sense. That's the way I would view it. So, got to be entertaining. Talking above someone is entertaining. So, sorry. Let's move into positivity. I think you're a pretty positive dude. Yeah, you're pretty toxic, but I don't think that's you. I think you like to have fun. Let me ask you this, and I feel like most everybody says yes to this, but have you struggled with negativity in your life?
Negativity. Like, can you give me an example of something that's negative? I think it's hard to say something's negative.
So you're a positive person?
Oh no, I'm like, have I dealt with negativity?
Yeah.
Like, what would be negative? Can you give me like one example of what you think is negative? I think we're gonna have like a difference of opinion on like what we think is negative is.
Like letting something get to you in your life or looking at it, like reacting to something, common like negative things, like something like people are out to get you, or your life sucks, or some shit happens to you and it's only happening to you.
Damn.
Like having a bad mindset.
I don't like if I'm like really drunk. Sometimes I'll be like doing like some dumb shit. I guess maybe that's when I kind of negative is like when I get drunk, dude. I think that's the only time I deal with negativity. So yeah, dude. have to deal with it when I'm drunk, I guess.
Here's this negativity: the expression of criticism of a pessimism about something. So would you say you're
Mm.
pessimistic?
Um,
Sometimes,
uh,
right?
no, never,
That's
bro.
great. That's
I'm,
great.
I'm never bringing them by, bro. Fucking pessimistic bullshit. Dude, I don't know, man. I never had. I think it's just like a mindset of like if something's negative, and I don't think I have that. Although, like people, I'd be denying it. I'm like people. I've had it added me. Like, uh, Alex is just negative. He's just a negative person. Like I'm like, I'm never negative. I think what it is like it's like money is involved, and sometimes my opinion will like make people lose money, and I think that's where this whole like negativity thing comes from. Is that maybe I'm making people lose money where I should go the other way around and make people money. So I could see that. Yeah.
All right, give me some positive benefits of Web3 for the future.
Positive benefits for Web3 in the future?
Yeah, for the future.
For the future, like, I don't really understand the question, but I think I'll try to answer it to what I think you're asking.
Well, you
You
said you
guys,
talked about networking, right? But what
yeah.
are like what can we grow on in
Okay.
the Web3?
So
What can we change the game with Web3?
yeah. I think what's going to happen, right? I think this is like, so the Web3, kind of like a double-edged sword, right? It allows the opportunity that didn't exist for people that just they didn't have that opportunity because of X, Y, and Z reasons. Maybe they weren't fit for like certain people to give them funding. So that is like a good thing that you can get these fundings in Web3. So I think that's like the main benefit for Web3, in my opinion, is funding ideas, and there's no other better way to fund those ideas than Web3 at this current time. Like it's the greatest fundraising you can do. So the amount of ideas that will get shoved into this ecosystem is going to be it's second to none. Literally, like if you want the best ideas, but it comes with like I said, it's a double-edged sword, man. Like you're gonna be also funding these piece of shit scammers, which I think are slowly like it's not only like it's not necessarily dying. It's more so that people are becoming more and more wise and like they've seen the same trick played out more than once. So now they're like not funding these ideas. And that's like what we're seeing. Like projects are slowing it. No. It's just that we're no longer funding shitty ideas and we're like understanding like we should only give our funds to good ideas. And I think that is the number one, well, maybe number one reason why Web3 will succeed is the ability to fund ideas. And you'll have like people such as like Frank come into the space and, he would, I don't know if he get funding outside of the space, but he got a ton of funding, had probably better ideas than most humans on this planet. And that was done via Web3. And we've seen this play out time and time. And then also, so there's like that. And there's also like funding even Web3 businesses. Like we see them, Moonbirds and Kevin Rose. So I don't know their grand vision on these things, but like I don't need to know those things because I know they're smarter than me and they can just trailblaze for me. I can just follow them, dude. I don't need to be the smartest in the person. I just have to find the smartest motherfucker and just follow behind them. I don't know if that answered your question, by the way. Sorry. And I
No, I
rambled
think
the fuck ton, man. My
yeah,
bad.
no, I think that was cool. Like I think you touched on a lot of stuff. I think that we're getting more mature as a space, very very slowly. But not only are we not minting the BS projects, but we are asking more questions. And I think that's like why what you're doing is really important when you call out founders because they should be able to have I hate using the word should, but founders need to be able to have at least someone be able to talk in a Twitter Spaces or just them and be able to answer hard questions and be able to show passion. I can't tell you that one thing that I fucking hate is when I listen to a founder talk and there's no passion. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to build this business with no passion?
Yeah, okay. So I think, dude, we get sucked into this like the public speaker. Like I think Frank's the best public speaker and we get sucked into this. And I think what I don't want to see happen is like these great ideas become not ideas because it's just the way they aren't great public speakers. It might be is becoming a deterrent because right now the market like really seeking what you're asking is we really want someone who's very passionate and a great speaker. And does that actually I know like some of the most best speakers I've ever met in my life are normally like sometimes they're like really shitty at performance. And then, like I do think though it plays a huge role. So I'm not like downplaying I think that plays like a major role into like your idea, like having passion, having be able to speak about it. I think that plays a major, but I just don't want like the small percentage. I'm saying like we're dealing with small percentages. I don't want them to be deterred because, oh man, like maybe I won't have all this passion coming up and being a great public speaker. So I want those ideas to make sure we don't overlook them as well. But yeah, I do 100% agree with you. Like we do want to see founders that have passion because yeah, I had founders that come up and I've actually gone away from these, by the way, these AMAs of pre-mints because I actually hate them because of like what the after effects that it causes of people saying that all I do is FUD projects. I'm like, I asked them 20 basic ask questions. They normally fumble around with them and they want millions of dollars. And I'm just like, dude, like, I don't know what you guys want me to do. Like, do you want me to just lie and be like, hey, this is a great project. We should give them millions of dollars because they can't answer 20 simple. And so I'm in a lose-lose situation doing them. And I just don't like doing them anymore. They're not fun. I would rather just do community spaces and like hear from other humans rather than hear from like the off chance 1 out of 10 of these projects are like you'll know when you see like the problem is you don't see them very often. Like there's very few Franks in this world. Like, but the chance we get to invest in someone like that, dude, give them your money.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, definitely don't do them if you don't like that, dude, for sure. I mean, I think like I agree with what you're saying. Like, I don't want to just make it seem like you have to be a public speaker to run a project, but I think I'm speaking to something different, like with the passion. Like you can be bad at public speaking and have passion and, talk about your project with emotion. I think a lot of founders just don't do that. And if they can't speak, that's totally okay, right? Public speaking is the number one fear in the world. But you can have someone that can come up. You can, the thing with the Web3 space is what's funny about you saying the friends thing earlier is like, everyone is there. You can find a lot of people that are willing to help and to want other people to win. And, there are bad people. So I'm not saying that all people are like that, but I think we're in a unique situation that you can definitely find people that are, willing to go up on stage and present your project and maybe be a part of your team if you can't speak on stage.
Yeah, I think that's what projects should actually be looking. But then it becomes like they're not founders. They're just like, it's like a weird, it's a weird thing that's going on at the moment.
Do you think those spaces would be easier if you did them like months away from the mint?
What do you mean by easier? So
like not as stressful. So then like maybe they come back. Maybe they like, okay. I don't know. If you did it like fucking 2 days before the mint, that's pretty intense.
So funny enough, I have like requirements for these spaces. They have to be 1,000 mutual followers and they have to do it within 1 hour of pre-mint. Like yeah, dude, like I'm not fucking about like, dude, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. And I want to have a big ass audience and I want to make sure like I want something to gain from this shit. What would I gain? Like more listeners. Like I'm not doing this shit out of my own kind heart, dude. Like, of course I want to grow my platform, dude. Like, I'm not, and I don't like to grow it like that anymore. I just, I hate talking to founders because 9 times out of 10, there's like a scamos and I just don't want to even be associated with them.
Well, that's good, dude. That's good that you found like that you went through that. I think you probably grew as a person and as a fucking NFT trader by going through those things. And you've helped a lot of people by going through those spaces, by doing that.
I don't know about that. That's a stretch, bro. Like we just asked 20, dude, if you're minting, you're going to click the mint. If you're not, I'm thinking I tell you, like, I only pick projects that are going to sell out, bro. I'm only asking project if they're going to sell out and they're not going to not sell out having this space. They're not going to like do so bad where people are going to click the mint. But the only thing they have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Where me, if I pick like some shitty project, I probably have nothing to lose personally. I probably only have everything to gain. But maybe I don't know. They've all ended well, so it's hard to say that.
All right. Let's move on to enthusiasm. I feel like enthusiasm is my shit. I feel like you're a pretty enthusiastic dude. You're very passionate, just in general, about a lot of things. I like to go back to we have one life. We have limited time. So let me ask you this. What are 3 things in your life that you can't get enough of?
3 things in my life that I can't get enough of?
Yeah.
Dude, 3, that's a lot. If I want to get something, I just go out and get it. Like I don't even know if
What are 3 things that you're obsessed with? I
3
feel like I have
things
to reword these questions.
Dude, 3 things I'm obsessed with. Okay, I have a bad Twitter addiction. I think sleep, dude. I think sleep's like something I could always get more of, but I don't get enough of. And dude, I think food. Like when I'm in a calorie deficit, dude, which I'm not at the moment. Even when I'm not, I like still try to track it. But yeah, food. So those 3 things: Twitter, sleep, and food. I
So,
don't know.
all right, first question: how much do you like? What on average do you sleep a night? Do you track that? Do you have to get a minimum amount of
Nah,
hours?
I like to get at least 6, but um, I, dude.
You got a bad
Yeah,
sleep schedule. Sounds like you got a bad sleep schedule. We're gonna work on this
terrible sleep
balance thing, dude.
schedule.
We're gonna be in the DMs. I'm gonna help you with this.
Thank you.
What? So your calorie, like, do you diet a lot, or do you work out, or what's that about?
Um, I used to be like last year. I feel like I pushed my physical limits to see like what can the human body go through, and then I got addicted to NFTs, and it was at the same time like I got so sick, bro. Like I got like I almost died. Like I didn't get hospitalized, but I almost died because I was like eating like dude. Anyways, I feel like I did push my limits, and
Wait, what were you doing?
well,
What
dude,
happened? Tell
I
the
was like,
story.
okay, no problem. Like I had already like it was getting close to summer, or maybe it was midsummer, and getting ready to go to the beach. So I wanted to like ramp up my calorie deficit even like higher. Like it was already like I was already eating like 1,000 calories, and then like ramping it higher. And so like also like keep in mind like I'm also like doing these other like supplements, like stimulants. Um, they're not like illegal stimulants, like caffeine.
I get it. I get it.
Uh,
I get
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's not like just like other like they sell this thyroid drug because you'll shut down your systems, bro. So you'll have to take these supplements to like revamp your systems. And dude, that's where I was at. Like, how far can I put? But then, like, dude, you're doing these calorie deficits. Like, uh, okay, okay, we'll go with this. But yeah, you'll literally like your system's shut down. Like your sex system shuts down. You can no longer like regulate your temperatures. Dude, all this weird shit happens. When I got this low, I was like, this is weird as fuck, dude. Like you're always angry. You're always hungry. It's just like, who does this stuff? I'll never do it again. But I learned a fuck ton from it. Like I'm like, holy shit. Like like I can endure a lot of shit that I didn't think I could endure. So I learned a lot. I forget even what the question was, man. I'm sorry.
What the fuck? Listen, where was the inspiration behind that? Why did you do that?
Oh, I just want to see how far we could push things. Like I'm gonna push my limits to the absolute max, and then like everything shut down, dude. I got so like your immune system shuts down. Like I got so fucking sick. I couldn't get out of bed for like a week, and I was like, and then I like just, and then I went to the beach, and I wasn't cut up at all. Well, I was still like mid cut, just not like super cut. But yeah, it sucked. But I learned like what can I do, like how much food do I need to operate with. I learned all that shit.
What are you like? You wanted to be cut up? Are you self-conscious or something?
Oh, dude, 100%. Like, I think that's everyone that goes to the gym, bro, is like literally self-conscious. Like, we're all in there, like trying to look better, but it's just like you're never gonna get to where you want to. Well, I'm never gonna get to where I want to be. So it's just pointless. I'm wasting time. It's just like, okay, I'm just at the gym doing this because I'm self-conscious and I'm not really getting away. I'm like maybe temporarily removing some self-consciousness, but not longevity wise. So I have to remove that. That whole gym physical appearance bullshit.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Who did someone make you ask me that question? Next question, Your Honor.
What the answer the question, fucker?
No, I can't answer that. It might dox me.
What?
Dude, it might
How do
dox
you
me.
have how do you have self-confidence if you have a
Wait,
girlfriend?
wait.
And
Let me
she's
check.
got to be good looking. You're a
Anyways,
fucking personality.
we need to go to the next question.
Listen, anybody that's pushed themselves to that limit, I think you're not self-conscious. It's fucking wild, bro. Listen, I'm gonna say this shit right now. Fucking, I cannot wait to be in that spaces when there's 2,500 people in it. I'm just waiting for time to catch up, but we're gonna get there. If you can fucking almost die because you're not eating enough calories, because you're like want to see how far you can push yourself. Motherfucking Alexander Shillin Villain's gonna have 2,500 people in the fucking spaces. That's all I'm saying. Put that shit on wax. Fucking crazy. Holy fuck. And he has a girlfriend. I just doxed him, guys. You heard it first. Hype Happy Hour, episode 14. Okay. What's I don't know if you want to answer this,
No,
but
go ask.
what has been the biggest accomplishment of your life?
Oh, dude, I definitely don't want to answer that. What the fuck, dude? Biggest accomplishment of my life, bro.
I'm just gonna let you know you've been easily the worst guest. You've been the hardest guest. I'm just fucking with you. I fucking love this. This is great. No, it's really great.
Well, because a lot of these questions go against like what the Alex, like this Shellin villain stupid ass account is. It's not supposed to be like it's supposed to be like this super neutral, just like non like it's not a it's like it's more so like a vessel of some sort, not like no longer out. It's like it's like an account that's I'm just like part of it, but it's not like my personal opinions that are attached to it. It's more of I don't know if that's what I'm saying. So biggest accomplishment.
You're a character.
Yeah, I know, right? Biggest accomplishment.
So are you?
Getting on this podcast with you. What do you mean? That's my biggest accomplishment as of 2022, 8/15.
Can you give me a real life accomplishment?
Dude,
won't dox you. What the fuck
Hang
are
on.
you, like some billionaire or some shit? I don't get it.
I'm super normal. It's more of like an NFT thing. Like people are, it's I don't know. Maybe I'll dox it. I don't know. It's not a big deal. Like we
There
go
was
to
a slight
events.
chance I thought you would video this.
Really?
I did. I thought
You're
so. I told
crazy.
Easy too. I was like, I think he's gonna fucking
Yeah,
video it.
right, bro. You're crazy. Dude, you have Eric Ebron on here. Like, I'm like looking at all these big ass names on here, bro. Like, you don't have like just Joe Schmo. So this is like a good accomplishment for this account. PO's on here, Easy, Renegade Matt. Dude, you have all these big names on here. So like to say this isn't like a big accomplishment, dude, this is a big accomplishment.
All right. I guess we'll move on since you don't want to fucking answer it. What's your most exciting moment in Web3? Do you think it was selling that D gods?
Nah, dude. No, fuck that. It was probably working in Web3. Getting like a job in Web3 is probably the most exciting part. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna be able to do this shit full fucking time. Like TJ ass motherfuckers. Like, let's fucking go, bro. So excited. That was definitely it, bro. Like, dude, where's Frank at? Put Frank in here. Fuck, I'll sell that bitch over OTC every single time. Because you know why? That MFer always tells me, I don't know if he's talking about me. Maybe I'm just like thinking the world revolves around me for a moment. But he's always like, we got MFers out here being altruistic and virtue signaling. And well, the second I sell at OTC and being realistic and not doing all that bullshit, like trying to say I'm better, then he gets mad at me. I'm like, yo, chill with that. So, yeah, I would definitely say working within Web3 was probably the best. Dude.
All right. Anyway, since you forgot the question, that's okay. Let me ask you this: how fast did your following grow? Was it kind of like an overnight thing? Like obviously you'd been doing work, but did you just kind of explode?
Yeah,
like 1 week.
It did, dude. It like couple of like big boost moments, but yeah, it happened. It felt like it happened overnight, man. It felt like one night. No one gives a fuck about my opinion. The next night, there's people that give a fuck about my opinion. So that's like really been weird for me because I've never had anyone give a fuck about my opinion. So like having people give fucks about my opinion, something new for me for sure. And it happened so fucking fast, man.
So how do you view that now that you're in a spot of, you have that audience? What has changed? Like, you kind of were joking about your friends around you that asking you for shit. Is that real? Like, as people come out of the woodworks and just like, holy fuck, you know what I mean?
Dude, 100%. Like, they want me to help. It sucks too, man. It's shitty because if I say no, then I'm like a shitty person. I'm like, my friend wants me to help them sell out a project. I'm like, no. And then now I'm a piece of shit. I'm like, dude, ask all of your other friends. Why am I the only friend you're asking? Or they're like, hey, can you do this with me on a space? I'm like, no. And then they'll be like, well, what the fuck, bro? I thought we were friends. I'm like, yeah, well, why don't you ask all your other friends first? And anyways, it's like not like I don't want to do it. It's just that I normally don't have time. But this podcast, bro, 10:30, dude, you're a fucking animal doing these late night shit, bro. Like this shit's sick. I thought, dude, why do you do them so late, man? I'm just like, how do you have energy, bro? Like, where's
Did you
this
read
energy?
it? Did you read that? You didn't read what my response was?
Oh, wait, what?
I'm just fucking with
No,
you.
you did,
No,
you did. No,
I
no, I did.
said
I did, I did, I
most of
did, I
my
did, I
guests
did.
most of my guests are East Coast, unfortunately for me, and I moved my kids' bedtime up to 7 because I get home from work normally at 6, so I'm with my kids until 7, dedicated fully to them, and then 7:30 for me Pacific is the earliest I can get on, and so it's like I just have been lucky. To be honest, I've been grateful to have guests that are willing to do it at 10:30 Eastern. I'm like, no joke, like I can't be more grateful about that.
Dude, even that is pretty late, man. You got kids and you're like coming on here.
I'm
Effort,
gonna
bro.
I'm gonna work out after this, dude. I gotta keep going. It's
What
just
is
like,
going on,
yeah,
bro?
you
Holy
can't stop.
shit.
Listen, it's interesting to hear about you growing your following because it's kind of what happened to NFT God. I don't know if you know who NFT God. He writes threads. He's in the Nifty portal, but he pretty much popped, kind of like you. Um, he went from like 1,000 followers to like 30,000 followers in a week because he's just been putting in work. He's been writing threads for 10 months and he's been writing this newsletter. So it's kind of cool to see that I just done NFT God and you guys kind of both exploded. That sucks, man, that you've had friends ask you that. And one thing that I've been focused on this week and just in my life is self-awareness. And I would say, like, for you, don't feel bad because I don't think you've changed since your following's grown. I was following you before you got fucking exploded. So I can say, like, you haven't like become this different person just because you have 50,000, 60,000 followers now. And for someone to come and ask you that, that's the only thing that you can deploy is empathy towards them, like that they're asking you to leverage that, and put you in a fucked up position.
Yeah, dude, I get so much shit for that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hypercritical and shit, but it's something I'm like just learning. Like I know I'm gonna look back in like a month and be like, dude, why was I doing that dumb shit? So it's always that way though. Like maybe I'm doing some dumb shit right now, and maybe I should just go on my friends' spaces and shit. And the problem is like I feel like it's like an endorsement, which maybe I won't endorse something. I don't know. Maybe I'm like thinking way too fucking like in depth with this shit.
Do you think it's not doing the right thing? Is that why you don't like it?
Damn.
How good of friends are these? Like people you've known forever?
Known them for a long time. But then like if I
But let me ask you this. So let me ask you this. Were you doing spaces with them before?
Yes.
Like for their projects? Like you were just hanging out with them?
No. See, that's where like shit gets weird.
That is
It's
kind of
like,
odd.
yeah, like it became like they were doing like Web3 businessy stuff and then like project stuff. And then that's when I was like, I gotta draw the line there. Like it was helping. I want to help them, but like not in that fashion. Like help them with their project, help them with their Web3 business. I'm like, dude, like
You don't want to give them exposure. Do you think that they'll give you like too big of like they'll pump it up because you're there?
Yeah.
See, because I think like the complete opposite. Like Easy sometimes comes into my Friday night spaces I host, and he comes to hang out. You know what I mean? And we don't like, oh, Easy's here, or I mean, we had fucking Kicks there one time. We have Whoppy. I don't know if you're Whoppy. And it's not like we put light on the fact that they're there because we want them to be there because they want to be there. And that doesn't mean I haven't asked them to come. You know what I mean? I've asked Easy to come, but I want him to want to be there. I don't want him to just show up to fucking help boost my numbers because that's not what I'm trying to do. So just looking at it from that standpoint, like, I don't know. If they're not trying to have you just sell out, then I don't know if it's that bad. If you're just going to hang out in their fucking Twitter spaces.
Yeah.
You don't have to retweet it or something.
I'm just making mistakes as I go, per usual, dude. Per usual, I'm fucking shit up, fucking inadvertently blowing shit up for no reason, bro. Like I think that's what's happening. I'm fucking, dude. I'm bad for that shit, man. I turned like an ant into like what is it called, anthill to a fucking mountain or molehill. I don't fucking, you know what I'm
I don't know
fucking
what you're
talking
saying. I don't honestly,
about.
but you keep
You,
saying it. You just keep doing your
ant
thing.
anthill into a mountain?
Is that what it is?
Or maybe it's like a molehill. Did you make something small into something big? So
I think
that's
there's a
like,
lot of value that you're providing.
yeah, a molehill. Make a mountain out of a molehill. You've never heard of
Love
that
it.
metaphor,
Absolute. Let's go. We got
dude?
it.
That
You
this
heard
is
it
like,
first.
dude, that's I don't know. Have
I've
you ever
never
had
had.
that, bro? Have you ever
I,
been like, yo, Gentle, can you get me on one of your podcasts? Like, you ever have that happen?
what do you mean?
Like
Say it.
someone who
Rephrase
wanted.
that.
Have you ever had someone in like your close friend and they're doing a project and they're like, hey, man, can you get me on your podcast? Have you ever occurred? Have you
No,
ever
dude.
had?
I'm literally a nobody, so no.
Dude,
No,
you
I've
say
never had that.
this. You have like a lot of big NFT names. You even have like NFL people. Dude, you have big names on here, bro.
So I guess it's kind of different for me because I'm on a different mission. I'm doing different things. Like I would be if I first of all, if it was a friend, I don't really. I have two best friends in the space that are like IRL friends, and they're not going to come out with the project. So I'm kind of irrelevant to that. Now, as far as like my NFT friends goes, like if I like the project as far as like what they're doing, then I'll go, I would be willing to support it. That doesn't mean I'm fucking shilling it. That means that I'm like, oh, cool. I want to help them out. But like, I'm more of like dude, I mean, I don't know. I'm a giver. Like I fucking give nifty portals away. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's different for me because like, if I was going to help someone in a spaces, people aren't going to be like, oh, fuck, he's like pumping them. I guess I don't know. I don't think anybody asked me that. Like, yeah, I have one guy that's asked me to come to his spaces, and I go to his spaces just to support him, but nobody's coming to the spaces because Tornado's in there. So I think it's kind of different. Like, and to be honest, like I'll probably do. I'll do the same thing. You know what I mean? When I get big, like I already know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get big. TikTok's already on the horizon. I'm working with someone on that. Like, I'm gonna be the same Tornado I've always been, and I think like you're the same Shillin villain, maybe just putting a little bit more pressure on yourself.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Dude, I'm definitely fucking shit up. I just know like
But like
Alex.
you have to, dude. You know what I mean? To learn. And the thing is like there's so many fucked up people in this space. Like some of the biggest influencers are just absolutely fucked. And they're just doing shit every day fucked. And so it's like, yeah, don't be like them, but you can also do things and fuck up and learn from that, right? Like you can go do your buddy's space and like, oh, it's totally a fucking shit show. And it's like, okay, cool, I'm not doing it again. But
Yeah.
you can't just like not experiment, right?
Yeah, that's fair. I think I
Because
need to
even
do
like
more experimentation.
I would say this, dude, like, yeah, you are right. I've definitely had some big names on this podcast, and I've created those relationships with those people, and then I ask in a very genuine way. So it's not like I'm putting pressure on someone to come on the podcast. So I think people genuinely want to do that, like want to come on the pod. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, that does. Yeah.
Um,
I appreciate that, man. I will actually do some more experimentation after tonight. I will take on stuff that I'm not normally doing. So it should be interesting. I'll end up fucking some more shit up, dude.
well, I think that in general, like if you were going to say a statement, like growth only comes when you step outside your comfort zone. So you're in a very unique situation where you've grown this following basically overnight, and you're learning how to experience that, and so you got to do shit. You know what I mean? You got to go for it. You got to figure shit out because that's going to grow you. That's going to grow your following. It's going to just grow you as a person. You can't just be in this shell, right? You're not from the outside looking in like that. I don't think.
Yeah. No, I appreciate hearing that from you, man. That's definitely something I don't normally hear. But, dude, I do appreciate hearing that.
Dude, listen, do you manifest anything? Do you like manifesting?
Oh, dude.
Are you faithful? Are you like religious or anything?
Okay. Like what? Dude, that's like that could go so many different ways. Like manifesting.
You put stuff into the universe, right? Like,
Put
do you
stuff.
fucking
Into the universe. I don't think I do. No.
No? Okay.
No, I don't think I do. Why? Give me an example of what you manifest.
I've said that I was going to retire at 35 since I was 18 years old. So
You're
I'm
gonna
just I'm going to retire at 35,
at 35.
and I've been saying that since I was 18.
Are you 35 when?
I have 7 more years.
Dude, let's fucking go, man. What do you want to do
It's going
when
to
you
happen,
retire?
brother. It's going to happen. I want to do whatever I want.
You want to do whatever you want when you're 35.
Whatever that is. I'm not going to not work.
Dude.
I don't have a non-work in my life. Like I just don't have that, right? Like I just told you, right? I'm going to work out after this. Then I'm going to hang out with my wife. I'll be back up at 4 a.m. You know, like it just doesn't stop. But I want to be able to just dictate that. You know, whatever that is. Say my son's in college football. I want to be at every fucking college football game. Like I don't want to have a restriction.
Yeah, I think that's the goal is turn every single have to into every single want to. I think if you can do that, like you have to do so much shit in life, but then every time you like check a box, like I no longer have to do this. Now it's I want to do this.
Yes.
Like, dude, that is it, man. Turn every
That was
have to
great,
into
dude.
a
That's
want
great.
to.
That's fucking awesome, dude. We're gonna roll that straight into dreams, dude. And I'm gonna tell you this, like I used to say that I was a delusional optimist, and I was in a Twitter Spaces, and this guy Justin, who's very big in the ape community, he's just fucking genuine, dude. He said deliberate optimism, dude, and I was like, holy fuck, because you know, yeah, like, am I saying that it's crazy to retire at 35? Yeah, it is. But I'm doing things, right? So I'm deliberate about it. So I'm doing things to make that happen. I'm working to make that happen. And so, you know, what would you like? Do you think you're pretty optimistic, and would you say you're deliberate about it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I ask you a question every time. I don't want to fuck up the answer, man.
There's no wrong answer, though. Like, who's judging you on this fucking podcast? Me, I guess. I'm not.
Yeah, but we'll be able to listen back to this, and I'll be like, "Fuck,
You're not gonna listen to this.
Okay. Yeah, dude. We're 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay.
You got to wrap? What? You got to go?
No. Can you reword it? Can you like reword it?
I feel like you're pretty optimistic. I'll say that. In general, you referred a lot to gratitude previously in the episode. So would you say you're a deliberate optimist, which means you have crazy goals, so you're very optimistic about your life, but you're also doing things to make those things happen?
I'm a deliberate optimistic. I'm doing things to, dude. Why, man? I just like, I'm just, they're hard.
You're really you're not gonna like the next question, so I might skip it.
No, I like hearing them because like I have to like think, dude. Like normally I have like yes or no questions, so these are like hard as fuck questions. Am I deliberate optimist? No, dude, I'm not deliberate optimistic. I don't think I go out of my way to be optimistic on things. I think optimistic, like the same thing as pessimistic. I don't think I'm either. I try to be like in the middle is the balance thing, and that's like the hardest thing to do is be in the balance. But yeah, no, I would like to think that I like to be not a deliberate optimistic.
Okay, so you don't want to be that. That's fine. Okay, so listen, I'm interested to see what you're going to say to this. I think it's going to be a little hard for you, but I'm going to ask you what the dream that you have is for your life, because we're under dreams right now, under hyped. I'm going to read to you my dream that I have for my life, so that'll help you a little bit. I'm Gentle Tornado. I'm an honest, enthusiastic, and successful man that will inspire people to live their life through happiness.
Yeah. I think mine would be just fine. No, that's not a good one. Just balance, dude. Is that a fair answer? Is balance fair? Is balance a fair answer for that? I don't know if that's like a boring answer, right? Do you want like a more
elaborate?
fun?
Just elaborate on the balance, right? What kind of balance do you want?
Like as much balance, like everything, man. Like every aspect of life, like dude, like literally everything I can think of, like I want to balance on.
What do you struggle with right now in balance?
Dude, 100% Twitter, bro. Like there's no fucking. I check my phone, dude, 12 plus hours, and that's just on my phone. So you're removing like when I'm on my desktop using Twitter. Like there's like such an imbalance here, but there's like other things within Twitter that I'm balancing. So it's something I'm probably, I know it's not that I'm definitely imbalanced in Twitter, but it's needed. So I'm like currently in the have to stage versus want to stage. I have to do so many hours of Twitter. Do I want to? Currently I do, but like I know like later down the road I will not. Like satisfaction goes back into the satisfaction thing. Like satisfaction will slowly dwindle. Like I'm super satisfied doing the spaces, super satisfied doing the podcast, super satisfied and just like making tweets all the fucking time, like living on Twitter, super satisfied at the point. It'll slowly dwindle, right? For me, I don't know if like satisfaction works the same for you. I gotta ask you, man, like does satisfaction work the same for you, or can you stay satisfied doing something?
I think I'm a little bit different. Like I'm more satisfied with the journey. So that I'm more like I'm focused on the systems, right? And the processes and how I'm doing things. We're differentiating that from like Twitter. Say the processes that I'm doing, right? This podcast, how I'm going to clip this podcast, the work that I'm doing. Those are the things I'm focused on, not like those keep me satisfied. My journey, right? Like I don't actually give a fuck if I retire at 35, but I love the process. And so I've fallen in love with that. And that has helped me create balance. I don't know if you can hear this fucking thunder right now, but it's pretty fucking wild.
That's thunder?
Yeah, bro, it's fucking crazy out here, to be honest. But I don't know if that answers your question, but I love the process. And I think that makes your systems better and creates healthy habits.
Okay, no, I didn't really answer my question, but I'll roll with it. Let me ask you like a more direct. Let me ask you more direct, right? Since you started doing these like YouTubes and stuff, was there ever a point in time where you're like, these are really satisfying, like aka like, or you're like, I'm really happy doing these? Was there ever a point in time where you're more happy doing them versus less happy doing them? Like, were you very happy the very first one you did? Are you at the same happiness levels?
No, I'm more happy.
You're
I didn't
more
even
happy. So
I didn't even like
satisfaction's
yeah.
going higher.
Uh-huh. So okay, sorry, instead of but and I don't throw my balance out the window to keep that going. I can't. It's hard to get that back, to get that balance back.
Yeah.
So right, like so I have 3 podcast episodes this week booked because I took last week off. I took last week off because my wife had surgery the Wednesday before last. So 2 weeks ago she had surgery. And I just told her, I was like, listen, I'll take 10 days off just to be here to support you, to do whatever you need me to do. And it wasn't like I needed to do the podcast. But I love it. And I like all the new podcast episodes better than my first podcast episode because it's just getting better. And I'm getting better at it. But I wouldn't lose my balance for that.
Okay.
That I've worked on.
Dude, that's good.
Did that answer it?
No, that did. It didn't really, but it did.
It's a give and a take. I feel like you're so committed to Twitter, but I don't know. I don't know what I don't know what I could say to you.
No. The problem was your satisfaction's going up, which is very rare. Like you're like enjoying it more and more as you do it. So like, I think yeah, dude, I don't know. Like I don't really I don't encounter those. Normally it's like super high and slow dwindle. So you're going up is even better, bro. Like that's so good to hear. Like that is good. Like you're saying, the more podcasts, dude, it's going higher, 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 higher. So, bro, you're gonna fucking go out of the atmosphere with this shit or whatever you plan on doing. Like, and you can, dude, if you can get on that ramp of going up versus starting high and going low, I think you'd probably be surprised. Well, yeah, I think you're gonna go out of the atmosphere, man, with this shit. It sounds like it.
We'll see what happens. I appreciate it. Well, to your counter that, don't you were saying you were getting more satisfied, or you're not getting more satisfied with Twitter?
No, it's ramping up for me. Like I'm like I don't know what happens when I hit this. Like I think eventually we'll hit a 2K space. Like that's one of the short-term goals is like hit a 2K. Like we hit a 1K space. Now we got to hit a 2K space. So maybe like I'll be like, nope, that's it. Like I don't know. I don't think it will be, but yeah, dude, I'm really really liking Twitter. I'm obsessed with Twitter at this point.
Have you thought about setting like micro goals?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't at all. Actually, I just feel like it's going too fast at this point. Like I think I'll just like crush through like a micro goal. maybe like, I don't know, like what you consider a micro goal.
Well, I guess, yeah, it's pretty fast, but at the same time, you still have control over what's happening. So you could, maybe one of your micro goals is getting a sponsorship.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to happen. I didn't set that as a goal, but I think that will end up eventually happening if we continue doing what we're doing.
Okay. This is a new question. Habits. So I think habits are very important. I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits right now. Do you have habits that you live by? Do you work on things like that?
No, I don't. I don't, man. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
It's just, yeah, man. I think more of it would probably be like a discipline, becoming disciplined. You could call that maybe a habit, but becoming like, so like when motivation is high, you normally don't need any discipline to do something. So this is me speaking, when my motivation is very high, I no longer need discipline to do something. So the best thing I can do for my personal self is like, my motivation is super fucking high, set the discipline super fucking high. And so like when I fall back down, it won't go that low. Like I'll hit that discipline level at a much higher rate versus like I just go really high, real fucking low, and then there's no like eventually you'll go to like I will eventually hit that discipline level and it'll be like super low. But if I can set that discipline level so fucking high,
what
yeah.
if you could just have that discipline level, dude? You're chasing these highs and then you're getting these lows, right? It's like the calorie thing. You got there, you crashed. Okay, let's get 3,000 people in a space. Who knows what's going to happen after that? I don't think you're going to crash, but you can also be disciplined the entire time, dude, and set goals. Like I think I don't know if you believe in yourself like that.
Well, I'm just going like, yeah, my personal self, right? I will like ebbs and flows and shit. Like my motivation comes and goes, but I think the opposite of motivation is discipline. When you're not motivated, you got like, I fall back to discipline. And if I can just like, when my motivation is really fucking low, I need to have I can't have a low motivation and a low discipline. And then it'll be like abysmal. Like I'll be at a zero on anything I do.
All right, I love it. I love it. Listen, if you could tell your 13-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
Dude, you got to go real low with this number, huh? Like 13.
You're fucking what, like 20? What are you, 21?
Dude, you have no idea.
He's not even a dox your fucking age. You don't. You have a girlfriend. You're probably 27.
I like that you went with. Dude, I like that you went with 13, bro. Like you're like, he can't be younger than 13. Okay, we'll go with 13.
13's an interesting age, dude. You're starting to get, you know what I mean? It's wild.
Dude, we have people join the Twitter Spaces being 13, talking about NFTs, more educated than like 30-year-olds. So it's just insane to see, man. Shout out Lil Nugget. I don't know if you know who that mother effer is. He's 13, bro. He's 13 out here spitting. I think he's just a parrot, though. I'm not going to give him that much credit. He's just regurgitating what he's hearing and not forming his own opinion.
At 13, that's pretty good, dude.
Yeah. It definitely is. If I could tell my 13-year-old self probably that, dude, probably like some stupid ass life advice. Be like, hey, man, like this shit ain't that serious. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. I'd be some dumbass life advice, bro. Like, what else would I tell my 13-year-old? Try hard in school. No, dude, it'd just be some dumbass.
Give me some good life advice.
Okay. Dude, I think okay. What about I'm talking to myself then. I'll tell my 13-year-old self this, dude. Money is unlimited, so like chase something other than money, because I'll literally I'll just never get to be like satisfied with any amount of money that I don't think like people I've noticed are never satisfied with any amount of money. And like setting that as like my 13-year-old self goal, saying like, hey, get this amount of money. It just doesn't, I don't know. It's just me personally. I know like other people. That's all. I think that's what I tell my 13-year-old self. Dude, it's late. It's late.
All right, dude. We'll wrap it up. So
No, I'm just telling you, like, if I'm giving bad answers, I'm sorry, man.
I literally, like, to be honest, bro, I cannot wait to meet you at whenever that is. So that's gonna happen for sure. It's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You'll never meet me,
Who
bro.
fucking knows? He's
You'll
actually fake.
never meet me,
He's
bro.
fake. It's a fucking voice. It's a fake voice. Okay, listen. This is one of the things that we ended off with. I'm gonna read you my favorite poem. You maybe have heard it, maybe haven't. It's called The Dash. It says, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came her date of her birth, and he spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time that she has spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash?
Dude, this podcast is so over delivered. I don't know if you know, like, this is fucking good, man. You're like transitioning in between scenes, like this. You're like practiced at this, man. Like having all this stuff prepared, like this is impressive, bro.
I appreciate it, dude. What do you think of that?
I think it's a great poem.
You care about that? Your dash between when you're born and when you die?
Um,
Your legacy?
yeah, I guess so, man. I don't think I'm that important, but yeah, man, I think it. And maybe one thing I say or do will be remembered by someone that isn't myself after I'm dead, but I doubt, I highly, like, percentage of chances of, like, hey, that MFer said or did something like outside, maybe like NFT. It doesn't have to be NFT, but like maybe he said something at one point in time. But most chance, not going to happen. But yeah, I do like the idea of it.
Dude. I think that you impact people more than you think, and I think that it's the people that love you that are going to remember you for what you've done, not the fucking world. So that's why you're a good dude.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Thanks.
One day we'll do an
You as
interview
well.
off of Shillin Villain. Well, we won't have Shillin Villain. It'll be Alexander. If that's your name, who fucking knows? All right, we're riding. Listen, we're wrapping it up. What you get to do is you get to ask the audience one question, and you get to give them a final thought. So first you do the final thought, and then you ask them a question.
Wait, ask the audience.
There actually is going to be maybe 8 people that listen to this. So
Okay.
I would like to get the question that you ask answered, and maybe you leave them with a final thought that's not completely full of shit.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask the audience any question. Ooh.
Let's do this. I'll rephrase it because I know you can't handle a lot of information at once. So the first thing that I want you to do, Alex, is one final thought for the people that might listen to this. Go.
Yeah, one final thought. I think if you're experiencing like struggles in Web3, you're definitely not alone. Everyone, well, not everyone. Myself, I know that like I'm worried. Like, hey, man, like maybe Web3 isn't the right idea. What I originally thought 9-10 months ago, like what I was pitched, and it changes every single day. So I think that's okay, and understanding that it's not maybe what I thought 10 months ago, also quite okay. And like the thing I think wouldn't be okay is if I didn't think like I didn't think that it was everything that like as long as I'm like continually changing and it's okay to also like contradict yourself, because that's the only way you actually grow is by changing, and sometimes change requires contradiction of what you originally thought. Wait, I get to ask the audience now, dude. Like,
you remember, first of all, proud of you that you remembered. Second of all, where the fuck was that the entire podcast? Because that was insane.
No,
that was what I was looking for.
Dude, I didn't.
Just kidding.
feel
I
like-
was just joking. I was an
Oh,
absolute fire. It was an
fuck,
absolute fire episode. I can't believe that you're on here. To be honest, I'm so grateful. Now ask the audience or whoever's might listen to this a question. Maybe your
Yeah.
girlfriend will listen to it.
Yeah. What are the what are the prerequisites to being a friend?
Prerequisites.
Yeah.
All right.
What are the requirements for being a friend? Like, what check boxes are you looking for? So that's it.
Can you answer that off stream for me? Can we answer that off stream? Because I want to hear your answer. You don't have to tell the people. You don't have to tell me. Just tell me. Don't worry. I
I
won't
tell
anybody.
you off stream, dude. Okay, we could definitely do that,
All right.
bro.
Listen, everyone, this is fucking Gentle Tornado and Alex42, aka Shillin Villain. This guy is an absolute fucking just I don't even know, smoke show. He's the man. He's the memer. He's a fucking he's got humility. Holy shit, I can't talk. It's too late. We're riding. We will never stop. This guy's gonna meme his way to 3,000 people on his fucking Twitter show, and I cannot wait to listen to it. This is a real dude, even though he was full of shit for half the podcast. We are riding. Hype Happy Hour episode 14. Thank you for coming on, Shillin Villain, and we will keep riding.
Dude, what a fucking